wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of NBC's 10 Count. I am Steve Fall. On today's edition, I'm going backstage, and I'm talking to the WWE Superstar, Damian Priests. When you were a child, Edge was one of your favorite wrestlers. What got you into sports entertainment? Was it a match, a friend, a wrestler, a match? What was it?
Well, what got me into sports entertainment was a segment. It was the funeral parlor with The Undertaker and Paul Bearer.
Yes.
And he stuck the Ultimate Warrior in the coffin, locked it, and then everybody was rushing, trying to open it. I don't know, that moment, I was so intrigued, so invested in the moment. And the way I emotionally felt, it was one of those things where I was like, man, I want to make people feel that way. Like, I want to create that type of emotion and that type of investment into something. And that's when I really fell in love with this business.
That was a scary moment. I do remember that. And I think everyone in their life has tried a Paul Bearer impression. You got a very deep voice. Could you possibly give us a Paul Bearer impression?
I can't do a Paul Bearer. I'd probably be better off trying to do an Undertaker one than a Paul Bearer. Definitely not. My voice is definitely too deep for that one. I'm not even going to try.
I can't imagine and someone doing a prank call you as Paul Bearer. Like, who is this?
Yeah.
Who is this on the phone?
Not working.
No. So you are a tall man, as we can all tell here. Now, you are a professional athlete, sports entertainment. If you weren't here right now doing what you're doing, what would you be doing in sports?
In sports, well, I used to fight before I started becoming a pro wrestler. Yeah. So I would say something in martial arts, whether it be still competing or instructing, something along those lines. But it'd have to be in combat, some type of combat.
Okay. Now, I asked Drew McIntyre this question recently, and I asked him who would be in his fantasy faction. He actually picked you.
Oh, that's cool.
So, your fantasy faction, pick like 2 or 3 wrestlers. Who, past or present, doesn't have to be now. Oof. Who would be in Damian Priest's faction?
Man.
You're the leader.
That is brutal, hard question, especially when you put past or present.
Yeah.
Because then it's, Undertaker has to be in it since he's my guy, Then I have to put Scott Hall in there. This is another one. And I'd probably go with The Rock, to be honest. Those are the 3 guys that I would put in just because of how they made me feel watching them, So I would start there. But then my faction would have like 20 deep. We would roll heavy.
So you're going NWO Hollywood with 10 limousines pull up and they all get out and you're in the front doing the. Well, you said Scott Hall was a big influence on you. So is he possibly one of your favorite wrestler of all time?
He's definitely up there on that list.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of characteristics that I use today that, machismo, and just that swag that he had and that coolness. I fed off of that, and I wanted to be like that. And the same thing with The Rock when, he very comparable in that sense, where like you look at the shirts I wear, I got ideas from the way The Rock used to dress. And I don't know, it's just that coolness, that natural coolness too, where they weren't trying, they were just being. And I love that, and I feed off of that. But yeah, so Scott Hall is 1,000% up there as one of my all-time favorites. So
you brought up your shirt. Rock said his shirts were $500. Is this a $600 shirt?
It's not. It's less than 500 too, but it serves its purpose to me. So for me, it works. I don't have to spend as much as he used to, and I'm okay with that.
Of course. I definitely grew sideburns as a child to be like him. So I'm assuming there's fans out there who are dressing like you as well. And what do you say to those fans who are growing up? Razor Ramon, he influenced you. There are obviously children out there who will be influenced by you as well. What do you say to those fans who are achieving this goal of becoming a WWE superstar?
First of all, it's wild to, when the dream was to become a superstar, of course you wanted to make people feel emotion. Yeah. But, it was to be a superstar, be a champion. And I got those things, but I didn't realize the position I was in, the platform, And then when you, like, for instance, you just say that and that people are looking up to me, it's still wild to me. And it means the world to me, because it's, obviously, like I said, it was something that I didn't even think of because it's just, that's out of the realm of possibility. And then here we are. So to anyone that looks up to me, dresses, that's the coolest thing in the world, I think. It's wild, and it's humbling, to be honest.
Because I was going to say, I had a backyard wrestling faction when I was a little child. I dressed up as Scott Hall and The Rock, and I'm guaranteeing you kids are somewhere. Do not try this at home, kids. Get proper training, though. But they are 100% dressing up as you. Vince McMahon. You know, everyone, at least in the world, has this perception of him. But, you know, we don't work with them. You do. So can you share us a Vince McMahon personal story with you? Maybe something involving your, you know, we brought up archery or your hot tub scene in NXT. What can you share with Vince McMahon fans that don't know anything about him?
Well, I'll say this. The first time I had a meeting with Vince McMahon, you know, I even told him, I was like, you know, you're very intimidating. Like, it's because, you know, we have this perception of you. And his first thing he said to me was like, yeah, don't believe what you hear. You know, he's a human being, you know, he feels like we do, you know, he has emotions like we do too. So, you know, I think there is a perception because of the business. But at the end of the day, he's a human being trying to run a business, but he's very friendly. And, you know, I kind of like the guy, you know, I'm not going to lie, you know, so, and he seems to like me, so that's a good thing.
I was going to say, right. You probably should stay on his good side.
Yeah, it's a good thing to do,
you know.
Especially when you're in this business and working in this company.
Yes.
No, but I would say that would be my quick little story. I don't want to give too much away I don't want to ruin his rep.
It's true.
You know, but I will say, like, that was his line. He was, don't believe everything you hear, and with a smile, and I was like, oh, he's a cool dude, you know? Nice. So I'll give you that.
All right. And then I guess Bad Bunny. Everyone who was a WWE fan was like, some of them didn't know who Bad Bunny was. Others were enthralled, so excited. And then when they found out he was going to be with you, could we see Bad Bunny return in the future to team up with you?
You know, it comes down to he had a perfect time in his schedule that he was like, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to move to Florida just to train and completely invest all my energy and time into this. You know, he's not someone that just wanted to just come in and then leave or just promote something. Like, he wanted to get invested. He gets that time again where he could devote himself 100%. I believe we'll see Bad Bunny in a WWE ring again.
I can't wait because, again, that night at WrestleMania, that was the match of the night.
Oh. I appreciate you saying that, and I've heard that again and again, and it doesn't get old, and I'm appreciated because of the work we put in and the training, and, you know, he worked really hard for the moment for us, too, because it wasn't just him and vice versa. It wasn't just about me. It was about us, and I'm glad it paid off. You know, it was twofold for me. I got to experience my first WrestleMania moment, and it was great. The feeling was intense and just exhilarating, but it was also exciting to see someone who I became friends with experience the same thing and see how happy he was. So for me, it was a two-way street of happiness. You know, it was for me and for him, which is really cool.
Because, again, a lot of people online are saying that there have been many celebrities involved with the WWE, from Mike Tyson to, Snooki, but Bad Bunny, they're saying it. Bad Bunny, greatest celebrity wrestler, professional sports entertainer, any team up with you, that's forever. You have the match at WrestleMania that stole the show in a lot of people's eyes. That's forever.
That is forever.
You know, we all love Raw and we love SmackDown, we love NXT, but WrestleMania is like when, you know, as JBL once said, this is where boys become men and men become legends. I think that night that you will go down forever as a legend just from that night.
I appreciate that, and that's what I want. For me, for my name, you know, to live forever thing, it's moments, you know, and achievements, and that was all of it in one. I mean, we had a crazy moment, a wild achievement, WrestleMania. I mean, for anybody that's in this business, you know, WrestleMania is a thing. Like, you want to have that, you know, more than anything. And I got to do it in a really special kind of way, in a way that, and I think what also helped us was because it was the celebrity match, which I know that's what a lot of people refer to as it exceeded and blew away expectations. Right. So I think because of that, it just made our moment even bigger. It was the perfect scenario for me in my debut at WrestleMania, for him, us teaming together, forming an actual bond, and enjoying every second of it. And I'm just glad that everybody enjoyed it with us.
Outstanding. Damian Priest, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you for watching, and thank you so much, Damian Priest, for being a guest on NBC's 10 Count. I've been Steve Fall. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.